Blizzard the Howler. Was it Blizzard? It's Blizzard. Blizzard the Howler. Let's bring his kit up. Blizzard the Howler. This dude. He looks like a Christmas reindeer slash Ogren type champion. Snowgrin. He's a Snowgrin, apparently. I'm pretty sure that would have been a pretty popular thing in the Plarium HQ. When somebody said, how about we make a Christmas champion? And the best thing they could come up with was Snowgrin. Giga Chads. They're like, alright boys, get together. We need to come up with a new Christmas champion. And they came up with Snowgrin. My fucking devs. My devs. Smile. Snowgrin. Employee of the month. Exactly. That's all it takes. Doesn't take a lot. Alright, here we go. Should we just read through this guy's kit real quick? Quick and fast. See what this guy's about. Blizzard the Howler. Abominable Snowgrin. Passive effect, whenever an enemy tries to place freeze debuff on this champion, instantly transfers it from this champion to the enemy. Whenever the champion is killed, revives them with 30% HP and 30% turn meter, and places a revive on death buff on them for 1 turn. It's a 3-turn cooldown for the active. He is immune to freezes. He reflects them back. And whenever he's killed, he has a 3-turn cooldown on a revive, 30% HP, 30% turn meter, and revive on death. Okay, I guess. It's an okay passive. The freeze counter, I don't know if there's going to be big freeze mechanics for City of Centranos, but what they have said, let's see what the devs have said about this champion's kit, because I think it's really important to get the insight of what Plarium are thinking, just like we do for most of the fusions, right? We want to see where Plarium's mind is at. Let's see. So Blizzard the Howler will be a great champion for hard mode Fire Knights. Oh, so they made it for hard FK and for arena. Blizzard can place freeze debuff with 2 of his skills, A1 and A3. A1 being a 3-hitter that will definitely help take down Fyro's shield faster and will give you a chance to place a freeze debuff, while the A3 has a 100% chance of landing freeze on AoE and 30% damage decrease. Something that will come in handy when dealing with a FK himself or for controlling the waves as well. Blizzard's A2 will be great for arena as it allows to remove all control debuffs and place defensive buffs on the team. Just build Blizzard with high resistance and you're good to go against enemy crowd control champions. Also, this Ogren Strongman-like champ can be very annoying when it comes to his passive skill, as Blizzard revives himself after being killed and places a revive on death on self with a reasonably low cooldown. Reasonably low cooldown. On top of that, Blizzard is basically immune to freeze, so it can kind of backfire when somebody's trying to freeze our Ogren. But yeah, that's Plarium's like design philosophy, I say. They are building this champion for Fire Knight and building him, they think, for arena, but I guess you can call any champion an arena champion depending what you're facing, right? Plarium are designing this guy to be a FK champion through and through. I think FK is a bit good. So for Fire Knight and for arena, let's see. So he has the freeze immunity, which is not really good for Fire Knight, but I guess the second part of the passive, reviving himself if he happens to die, which I don't think he will since he's a defense-based champion, but if he does, then there's that there. AoE freeze for the waves is nice, decreased turn meter is nice. Having a guaranteed freeze is actually pretty good. 350% chances to freeze versus 1 guaranteed chance to freeze. I don't know which one you would take. I'll probably take the guaranteed chance to freeze, honestly. Would have to look at the probability of which one's higher of happening. I actually just prefer the 97% chance versus the three 50% chances and 97% chance. Probably take the guaranteed. This is good for like ally attackers. Ally attackers, he could be good for a freeze. The A2 cryotherapy removes stun, sleep, fear, true fear, freeze, provoke, petrification from all allies. Then places increased defense and ally protection on them for 2 turns. Interesting. He has an ally protection, which is kind of problematic for champions to stay alive, but he does have the revive built into his kit, so there is that. Although he revives with 30% HP, but I guess it's not so bad. He could probably keep the team alive with his ally protection and increased defense. Then he will die. Let's say you're building a team that wants to tank 1 hit from Finite. You could run this guy. You could just have him ally protect the team. And then you could also put revive on death. That could be a thing on yourself. You could just go with Valkyrie Shield, honestly. If you go with Valkyrie Shield, you don't really need this. Well, you probably won't die. You're probably just fine. If you put the ally protection, you're definitely gonna die. But yeah, it's there. Attacks 3 times at random. Each hit has a 40% chance of placing a freeze debuff for 1 turn. The A1 is okay. 50% chance after being booked is, for a champion who is designed to be the Fire Knight counter, like if you compare this guy to GNU, it's not close. It isn't close. Like if you're designing a Christmas champion to be good against Fire Knight, he needs to be at least as good as GNU. Not as good as GNU, because GNU is like probably one of the best champions in the game, or one of the best fusions ever. I think this guy is so far behind GNU. GNU has a 100% chance to freeze on a 3 different hit, and he has enemy max HP. So they could have given this guy at least like 80, if not 100% chance to freeze on every hit. Let's pull up our favorite fusion for a second. Let's pull up GNU, and I'll show you guys GNU's A1 and GNU's A3 is leaps ahead of this champion. And if you're gonna make a Christmas style champion, you're gonna call him a Snowgrin, give him some love, you know. Give him some love. Make him as good as like other champions that we already have in the game. Yeah, the A1 doing 50% chance to freeze is pretty weak. Pretty weak. And not everybody has GNU, honestly. People are missing GNU. I was on the account I think yesterday, and that guy didn't have a GNU, so he was trying. We were trying the Sylvan Watcher champion Cryodon and the Yakal champion from the Barbs. Let me just find him here. Okay, he's in my Hydra team right now. Attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 15%. If the target's turn meter is not decreased, each hit has an 80% chance of freezing the champion. It's a 100% chance when booked. So he has a 100% chance to freeze bosses 3 times, which is incredible. If you compare that to the champion that they just released, it's a 50% chance. So yeah, he's just way inferior to GNU. Like, I'm not saying people have GNU already, so why do we need another champion like GNU? But not everybody has GNU. A lot of people don't have GNU, and it wouldn't be crazy if the A1 was a triple 100% chance to freeze. That's all I'm gonna say. For Fire Knight, if you don't have GNU, you could take this guy. He is decent. His A1 is decent. His A3 is decent, but he's very comparable to Cryodon, who I just mentioned. Let's go look at Cryodon's chance to freeze. Cryodon also has a 100% chance AoE to freeze. It's a 3-turn cooldown. Oh, actually, no, he doesn't have a 100% chance. He has attacks all enemies 2 times. Each hit has a 65% chance to freeze. So 2 65% chances to freeze. On the wave, it helps you with survivability. You know, you're gonna get through the wave if you freeze like 40% or like 60% of the wave, so you're fine. And then the A1 has a 35% chance to freeze versus the 50% chance of the new legendary. So not a massive improvement, a small improvement over an epic that's already in the game. For me, that's pretty bad. That is pretty bad. I always like to look at these fusion champions and compare them to what we already have in the game, so people can make a decision whether they want to go for this champion or they have one of the other options. Like if you have a Gnu, this guy is not going to get into your finite team, no shot. If you have Cryodon, this guy is only a slight upgrade on Cryodon if you book him. And you need to legendary book him, because Cryodon's going to be 35% chance to freeze. This guy's 40% chance to freeze without books. And if you do book him, you only get another 10% chance to freeze. So in my book, I don't think this guy is really worth going for. Another champion, another fusion that, it's not really substantial or something worth going for. So that is unfortunate, because fusions are basically the reason to play this game. There's not really much going on other than that. The City of Centranos coming out. Maybe he'd be good for City of Centranos. But Plarium didn't really mention that he's going to be good in there, so I'm not going to go ahead and just assume that he's going to be good in there. But yeah, that's my take on this champion. Let me know what you guys think. How is he for Arena, you think? Honestly, they just said Arena because you can just good for Arena is a buzzword that you can throw on any champion and then make a case for where he would be good in a very niche scenario, because in Arena anything can happen. Anybody can run anything. I don't think he's good for Arena at all. His revive, he comes back with 30% HP. He doesn't really have a revive on his own, so if he comes back to life, who fucking cares? If he's alive, nobody cares. You have a block debuff team, you want to make sure you have block debuffs on your team or a lockout. So what's going to end up happening is you're going to lock him out. He won't be able to do A3. He can only freeze single target. He's going to A1 your Necro protected champion. Nothing's going to happen. I really don't think this guy is any good for Arena.